Hey, good morning. Patricia Murphy here. It's Saturday. This is Seattle Now. Today we're bringing you the best from newsrooms throughout the Northwest. First, Bosnia and Herzegovina fans celebrated as their national soccer team made history in Seattle this week. The country made it the furthest they've been in the World Cup. Northwest News Network contributor Grace Madigan has more about what it means to the Bosnian community in the Northwest to be competing on the world's biggest stage.
More than a decade after its first tournament appearance, Bosnia is competing in the World Cup for just its second time. For Bosnians like Marija Jusupovic, who immigrated to Seattle in 1998 after the war, it's a point of pride that her home country will be seen in a light that doesn't have to do with its past.
Bosnia will get brought up and people who are older immediately remember the war. They're like, oh, it's the war. And then your country is constantly tied to like the hardest part of your life and like the thing that everybody has struggled through.
The Bosnian War, which lasted from 1992 to 1995, resulted in the second largest diaspora in the world, according to the UN. Around 2 million Bosnians live abroad, and about 350,000 live in the U.S. today. Jusupovic was just 11 years old when she left Bosnia with her family.
We basically had like time to pack one bag and flee that city for another city. And that was kind of what we ended up doing throughout the war, was basically trying to dodge the primary fighting zones. Some of my family members were not so fortunate.
It is estimated that more than 100,000 people were killed during the 3-year war, including 8,000 Bosnian Muslims in what the UN considers a genocide. Today, the country continues to recover economically and reframe its image from a war-torn country.
When another event, like the World Cup, happens, you're reminded of like, hey, we've made it. We made it through a really, really horrible time in our history. It shows the resilience that I've known Bosnian people and people just from that part of the world to just be incredibly resilient.
Thousands of Bosnians descended upon Seattle for its pivotal match against Qatar. People of Bosnian heritage from across the Northwest also made the trip. Alma Zakonovic drove up from Vancouver, Washington. For her, seeing so many Bosnians was moving.
Feels like we were home.
Yeah.
After this many years living here, yeah, feels like home.
Fans celebrated the win long after the final whistle at a pub just around the corner from Seattle Stadium. Father and son Armin and Mehmed Imamovic attended the game from Augusta, Georgia. Both were overwhelmed with emotion after the game.
It means everything. The whole country, Tuzla that my dad comes from and everything like that, it means so much for everybody there. And this man has never missed a game, ever. He does whatever he can to watch a Bosnia game. This is his team. Like, he will rep it till the day that he dies.
For a team that statistically was unlikely to even qualify for the World Cup, fans are ecstatic to have made it as far as they have.
You know, whatever happens next, it doesn't matter. I feel like
we did what we're supposed to do.
Exactly.
We went to the next round.
We did
that's
what
all
we
that's
wanted to
matter.
do. But you know, if we do win, you already know we're gonna riot till the wheels fall off. You know, if we don't, the future of this team is very promising.
In Seattle, I'm Grace Madigan.
Next, tiny pocket forests are sprouting up all around Washington state on old abandoned fields and in people's backyards. These forests are meant to mimic nature and grow quickly. It also helps increase biodiversity. NWPB's Courtney Flatt takes us to one of the Yakima Nation's mini forests.
This hot, wind-blown field used to be completely barren.
There was nothing out here at all. They didn't have to put weed killer on her because there was just nothing, no base to grow on. It was just dirt and a few rocks.
That's Mary Lee Jones. She's a gatherer with the Yakima Nation, and she helped transform this space into a mini forest more than 6 years ago. In the summertime, the forest cools this small space. It won't be enough to cool larger areas, but a little shade still helps. Summer temperatures here will only get hotter with climate change. Deborah Bird is a vice chairwoman for the Yakima Nation General Council.
So it's like 10 to 20 degrees cooler inside here. So you can come and sit and have lunch. It's really nice.
Bird is something of a mini forest evangelist. She even has one in her backyard. The Yakama Nation has planted several of these forests across its lands. Bird says the tribe is also considering expanding at least one of its mini forests. They've planted this forest in a very specific way. It's called the Miyawaki method. It was the brainchild of Japanese botanist Akira Miyawaki.
He was creating these native forests that were growing 10 times faster than through typical afforestation.
That's Ethan Bryson. He knows the method well and planned out this forest. This style of planting has sprouted up all over the world, from New Zealand to South Africa.
Microforests, mini forests, pocket forests. I've even heard someone say petite forests.
They can grow in an area as small as 6 parked cars. Each plant only a forearm's length from the other. A diverse array of shrubs, ground cover, and trees stratify the canopy layers. All plants native to the area. At first, Bird says it was hard to find so many native plants. The forest has at least 47 different species and almost 9,000 trees.
There's only a few nurseries in the whole state that grow these plants, so we did have to get from several different areas. And we had to coordinate a time to get them here.
They've dubbed it the healing forest. Now, aspens and cottonwood trees sway back and forth. Wild roses and elderberry bushes peek out of the densely packed foliage. Joan shows everything off.
Shall we go inside?
Inside, paths circle the edges of the small forest. Jones points out all sorts of plants that would have grown here 200 years ago.
The currants, the little yellow blossoms, we call them khun and khanan.
The whole thing forms the shape of a medicine wheel. Each path acts as a spoke, leading to an empty hub in the center. Yakama Nation member Marlene Hunt says some people were skeptical at first. Then they noticed.
If you go out into the wild, you can see the trees the same way. And that's kind of mimicking what Mother Nature has already done.
When they went into the ground, these native plants were just saplings. She pinches her fingers close together to show just how small. And now, she raises her hands as high as she can reach.
Those first 3 years, everything flourished so much. You see all the mushrooms growing wild out here. You see the animals, some of them you see them running away as soon as they see you coming.
Many plants in this arid forest can also be used for teas, tinctures, and other important cultural uses for the tribe. Bird says these mini forests help people experience nature, not too far from home.
I think it's like a gem in the Yakama Nation.
And Joan says there's still much to learn from these tiny forests.
Nature will truly give us the insight of teaching if we listen, to understand how diversity makes up a community.
I'm Courtney Flatt in Toppenish, Washington.
And finally, American pikas are fluffy, squeaky, and adorable. And they're also what's known as an indicator species. So if they're doing okay, there's a good chance the local ecosystem is doing okay too. That's one reason why the Oregon Zoo and other groups are looking for people this summer to go out and count pikas. OPB's Christian Fodenvenzel tagged along with one of these citizen scientists and filed this report.
Wildlife photographer Linda Steider pushes through the underbrush at Little Beacon Rock in the Columbia River Gorge. She's trying to reach the bottom of a moss-covered rock slide.
If you look up, there's smaller boulders, basketball-sized boulders. If the rocks are too small, like 5 or 6 inches, that's too small to have decent holes underneath for the pikas to hide in.
She's looking for pikas, mammals with furry little bodies, about the size of a russet potato, and a call like a squeaky toy. Steider says all it took for her was one look at a pika in the wild.
Then I became obsessed.
Why?
Because they're so adorable. They're in the rabbit family. They're also called rock rabbits and boulder bunnies.
They have Mickey Mouse ears, little white feet, and no tails. Steider goes outdoors to count pikas at least once a week. She's with Cascades Pika Watch, which is looking for people to help them survey for pikas this summer.
They are what we call an indicator species, which means that by studying pika, we can understand how the larger habitat is doing.
Haley Brazier is the wildlife conservation specialist at the Oregon Zoo. She says pikas have a very special habitat requirement, which is why you don't see them in your garden. They like to live at high elevations, in rocky outcroppings and slides where the boulders are just big enough for a potato to hide underneath.
Now, what's really special about the Columbia River Gorge is that is the lowest elevation that pikas live in the West. So we have this distinct opportunity living here in Portland to go out and study these pika at their lowest elevation.
Pikas are special for other reasons too. They need particular temperatures to thrive. In winter, they live under rocks coated with snow, so they're vulnerable to climate change. The state has listed them as a sensitive species, which is why scientists need a better understanding of their numbers and habitats, particularly following the Eagle Creek fire along the Columbia River Gorge in 2017.
So this is a real opportunity in the years following that fire for us to be seeing how do pika respond to these large wildfires.
Cascade Pika Watch already has over 400 trained volunteers, but it's still looking for more. Participants can train online for free. Linda Steiner has been volunteering for over a decade and saw a 60% decline in pika populations in the Eagle Creek fire areas.
Oh, they are definitely recovering. A lot of the vegetation is growing back, so they are reproducing and dispersing.
Still, unlike rabbits, pikas don't breed quickly. They usually have just one litter a year.
And they only have 1 or 2 picklets.
Picklets?
Yes. P-I-K-L-E-T. So that makes them even more adorable.
Pika Watch volunteers choose from any of one of 90 sites identified by GPS locations. It could be along a hiking trail, at a scenic overlook, or even next to a parking area, so people with mobility issues can also take part.
And we ask that you wait there for 25 minutes, and that's when you listen and look for any indication that there might be pika. So, for example, you're going to be listening for those cute little eep, those little squeak sounds that the pika make. You're going to be looking for pika, so they like to run all over the rocks. They're busy, collecting food and doing other things. Or you're going to be looking for their scat, so you're going to look for their poop.
The data is then submitted by phone or computer and goes straight to the Columbia River Gorge Commission to help out with land management decisions. Back at Little Beacon Rock, a movement catches my eye.
Where are you pointing to in relationship to that lowest green branch?
Yes, lowest green branch, there's a shadow underneath it, and something's moving.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it.
Is that a pika or is that a dot in the matrix?
Well, I saw something move.
Oh, yeah, no, he's gone behind now, I think. It was something. It was the first of many squirrels. Still, the hunt was so much fun, I'll be going back soon to see whether I can find my first pika. Christian Foden-Wenzel, Beacon Rock State Park.
Thanks for listening to Seattle Now, and thanks to our generous donors for your financial support. Take a minute this weekend to rate and review the show. Our production team includes Caroline Chamberlain-Gomez, Vaughn Jones, Andy Hurst, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.